welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me for another one of my videos. So I've got my cup of tea, my positivity mug today. And what I wanted to talk to you about was my YouTube setup and my blogging setup. So the cameras I use and the equipment I use to film these videos to make them look bright and shiny. Well, hopefully they don't look shiny, but bright and well lit, I guess, and of a really good quality. And also what cameras I use for my blogging photography as well, and like the shots you see on my Instagram, because so many of you asked me what cameras I use and I've never filmed one of these videos before, so I thought it was going to be really helpful and really useful to you guys. And you know, I did a lot of research and like had to trawl the internet for all this information, so I think it's good to share tips and techniques with people so they don't have to do that. So first of all, my YouTube setup. Now I can't really show you obviously behind the camera because I'm filming, so I'm just going to insert pictures of what equipment I use and cameras and lenses and stuff like that. So for my sit down videos, so these videos you see on YouTube, I have a few little lights. So to my side here I have a light box, and you can get these really cheap off eBay. I literally got two for £20. I got these about 3 years ago now, so I'm not going to show you my one because it is bent to fuck. Like, it is literally leaning off its tripod at the moment in one of the awkward positions because I just haven't been bothered to order a new one. So this is reminding me I need to order a new one because it is heavily damaged nowadays. It's been put through its paces twice a week with videos. So yeah, it's really good. And basically what this light box does is light up everything you see behind me. So although I'm lit in front, it lights up everything behind me. So I've got a really light bedroom and my window is right next to me here. So I've got the blind pulled down. I always have to have the blind pulled down because otherwise you just literally wouldn't see anything of me. I'd be a ghost. So obviously that blocks out a lot of sunshine, but then you need to light up the background. So I've got a light in front of me, which is obviously puts me into focus and puts me into light, but behind me is just important because you don't want like a dark background where no one can see what's going on, and you know, you want something quite visually pleasing as well. So yeah, so I use the light box literally just to sit here to boom light into my background. I think it really works. Today's quite a sunny day, so sometimes I find when it's sunny my lighting's worse. I actually think it's better to film on a cloudy day because you get more neutral tones, whereas where the sun's in and out all the time, like you get a lot of interference with lighting, and that's why sometimes things go dark and then things go light. And because I'm a perfectionist, it's better to film on a cloudy day. So yeah, there's lots of things to like think about with like natural lighting, and sometimes even just sitting in front of the window. If you've got like a house that probably faces away from the sun, you could probably just sit in the window and have fantastic lighting. But unfortunately the sun is this side of my house, so that's just not possible. It's too bright, too light, and it's there all day, unfortunately. So yeah, so I've got the light box here, then directly in front of me I've got a ring light. Now you'll probably see it in my eyes, it'll be like a little circle of light. Like you can always tell when a YouTuber uses a ring light because you can see it in their eyes. And this ring light is such a godsend. I absolutely love this ring light. It's beautiful, it's so easy to set up, and normally you can actually slide your camera into the ring light. There's like a little layer you can slide it into so it sits on the ring light, so you only need the one tripod. But I prefer to have my camera a little bit higher, so my camera sits on my chest of drawers. There is no tripods or any fancy equipment used there. It is sat on my drawers just because I actually prefer the angle of it. I actually prefer it and how it looks. So yeah, it's sat on top of my drawers, so the light sits a little bit lower, but that's fine because obviously I'm sat a little bit lower than the camera itself. So yeah, the ring light's really good. It lights up all of your face. Literally everything of me is lit up because I've got this light in front of me, and it's quite funny. It's that good that people were like, oh my god, your teeth are so white. And even some people have like thought I have Invisalign and like I was gonna say imaginary braces. They're not imaginary. What do you call them, like the see-through braces, Invisalign, and I'm like, oh my god, no, it's just my teeth, they're that shiny. Like, so it does reflect a lot. It is really, really, really good lighting, so much so people are like, oh my god, your teeth are so white. And yes, I do have my teeth whitened, but believe me, they are not this white in real life. Like, it is all down to the light, and obviously my eyes look a lot whiter and brighter as well, so it's really good for brightening. it's just a freaking good light. I'm not gonna lie, it just makes you look so much fucking better. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Again, I got mine from eBay. I think I paid about £80 for it from memory. It was, again, 2-3 years ago I bought this. So they do really last. This one is definitely still standing. It's not broken, which is good because it was a lot of money. But yeah, totally highly recommend these ring lights. They're so good. So they just make you look 10 times better than in real life. Yeah, it just really brightens up the image as well. So the camera I use for my sit down videos is the Canon EOS 70D. So this camera I saw Zoella using and for her sit down videos, and I just loved the quality. So I invested in this camera, I want to say like 4 years ago. I've had it quite some years now, and it has been so incredible. Like, it is probably the one camera which is just flawless. Now, I say this for videos, it is really good for photography as well, but I personally prefer my other cameras that I use for photography, but it does work perfectly well for photography. I am just a freak of perfection and decided to buy other cameras for other uses. So this camera is so perfect for sit down videos. Like, as you can tell, it's so crystal clear, great quality. It's just perfect. Like, I don't think I ever want to change this camera for my sit down videos. I'm just so impressed with it. It was quite a bit of money. It was an investment, but 100% worth the money. And you can 100% take your blogging photos with this as well. Like I said, I actually just found a cheaper and better option which really worked with my vision of what I want for my blogging photos to look like. So that's not to say this camera isn't fantastic for photography. It is, and especially for website pictures where you want to blow stuff up quite big, the Canon cameras are so much better for that. Because the brilliant thing about Canon, and the reason why I love all of their cameras, is because when you blow a photo up, it doesn't pixelate, it keeps its high resolution. So that's why I chose and invested in Canon specifically. So on top of my Canon camera, I have a Rode microphone. So this is why my voice sounds quite clear, quite crisp, because it's a professional microphone, and this just slides into the top of my camera. This was the best investment I ever made in my YouTube, well, obviously apart from the cameras and the lights as well, but I absolutely love this microphone. It just makes everything sound so much better, so much clearer, and I paid about £60 for this off Amazon. But yeah, I just absolutely love the Rode microphones. I use a Rode microphone to record my podcasts as well, so I'm definitely a big fan of Rode. They're incredible microphones, and it's definitely worth investing in something to start off with. This is what I've learned. Like, don't just get cheaper alternatives and upgrade because you spend thousands. I have wasted thousands on cameras by just buying cheaper alternatives, getting annoyed with them because they're cheaper alternatives and they're not as good as the quality items. So then I end up buying what I should have just bought in the first place, and then I waste money. So my one piece of advice for blogging and YouTube is save up for what you actually want. Get the kit which you want. Don't like settle for just a cheaper downgrade, because you'll waste so much time and money just wasting it on products you're not going to use and you're not going to be happy with. So microphones are definitely something which I've just invested in from the offset, like £60 I think, such a good investment for, you know, the amount of videos I film, the amount of work I do. So yeah, I totally recommend these microphones because it just sounds more enhanced instead of like more flat and quite distant. So I don't use the original lens that came with this Canon camera. It was very flat, didn't give much depth, and especially with videos. So the lens I use is specifically for videos. So the bit is like a fat off lens, I'm not gonna lie. It is the Sigma 18 to 35mm lens for the Canon 70D. I will try and link everything below as much as I can and find it, obviously, so you get the correct information. But this lens again was recommended by Zoella, and yeah, it's just flawless. Like, the zoom on it's gorgeous. Even for photography it's really nice, but I think this camera is more designed specifically for videos, for really good video quality, and I prefer it for videos more than anything. If I had to take my photos, I know that my other cameras would be like really nice, but just a little bit better, I think, whereas this is definitely more a video camera and perfect for videos. So my next camera is my vlogging camera. So I use this basically for any time I'm away and I'm vlogging, essentially. So it could seem a bit of a pointless investment, but I can't be lugging around such a big freaking camera everywhere. It would not work. So this is like the standard YouTuber's camera. It is the Canon G7X. So basically every YouTuber has this camera known to man, and there's no surprises why, because it's such good quality. Like, it's very clean, it's very clear. You can see from my vlogs, it's such great quality, and it's just like really pocket friendly. I actually know a lot of YouTubers and really successful YouTubers that actually still use this for sit down videos. So if you haven't got the money to necessarily invest in like the Canon EOS 70D like I had, then this would be a really good sit down and vlogging camera if you want it all in one, because you know that's your kind of like price margin. Then definitely I would say this would be good for sit downs and good for vlogging too. So it has a flip up screen. Now what the only piece of advice I would say is this screen has come off so many times, and I'm out of my warranty now, annoyingly, so Canon refused to fix them. It is an absolute known issue with this camera. The amount of YouTubers who have expressed frustration at this, you know, this flip screen falling off is unreal. Like, it happens with all of them. So it's annoyingly a design fault. It's annoyingly like a really shit addition to the camera, because obviously as a vlogger, you want your screen up. You're going to be using that a lot. So I think this camera was about £400 from memory, I think it was, but again, so worth the money, so worth the investment. I've had this about 1.5 years now, and it is an absolute blessing. Like, I don't think I would use anything else for vlogging. I love the quality. The photos as well were really good. A lot of bloggers I know take photos on this as well. I've taken a few on there. Personally, again, I feel it was quite a flat photo. I don't feel it has the depth in it, so I do prefer my other cameras. But, you know, for very, you know, generic photo, yeah, it is really good quality. So all I've done to stick my screen on is super glued it, to be honest. Just gonna throw that out there. Super glue works a treat. So I've just super glued the hinges back on, and it works a treat. Literally, this is stable, this is flipping, it's fine. So if your camera's done this, or you get this camera and it does it, honestly, just put a bit of super glue on it, you're fine, babes. And the lens is obviously part of the camera, so I don't need to like buy any lenses for it. But yeah, fantastic camera for videos again, really good for photography. Like, you know, I think it's just personal preference. I think with blogging photos and photography in general, it's absolute personal preference of what kind of photography you like, the depth of the image and the quality of the image as well. Now, because I'm such a visionary person, I'm very particular with how my photos come across, the kind of depth I want, the blurriness I want. I'm very particular, so this is why I have so many cameras, because I'm very fussy, but that's a good thing because my photos look freaking ace. But yeah, for video content, these cameras are freaking awesome. So my last camera is my probably most battered camera, because this comes to me everywhere, on holidays, traveling, if I'm out for the day, like this camera comes everywhere for all my blogging and Instagram photography. So I do use my iPhone as well. I've got the iPhone 8 Plus, and the iPhone 8 has such an incredible camera. It's a massive upgrade from the 7. I'm an iPhone freak. I buy them every year. I'm just obsessed with technology and cameras. Like, it's a little bit of a nerdy thing I have, but I love photography. I love technology. So from using the 7 and the 6 myself to the 8, it's a massive step up in a really good way, because you've got the portrait feature, which gives you a really nice subtle blurry background. The camera is so good. Like, a lot of my Instagram photography is actually taken on my iPhone nowadays. I do still use this, but for quick and easy photos, the iPhone is perfect. So even if you're like, I haven't got all this money to invest in these cameras, but I want a good video camera and I want a good photography camera, like, sometimes, babes, the iPhone is actually freaking better than some of my cameras, like, weirdly enough. But sometimes it does look shit, and like these do look better. So I think it depends on the type of shot. If it's a very generic shot, like a skyline shot, I find my iPhone's better for that, because it picks up more detail and it makes it more vivid, whereas this one would blur it quite a bit more, because this has got a very blurry background. So for things more in the distance, I think my iPhone's better. For things more close up, I think this one's better. So all my flat lays, all my product photography, everything like that, all the photos I use for my stock, literally any professional photos you see of me is being taken on this camera by an unwilling family or friend of mine, and I'm just like, please take my photo. So this is the Olympus Pen EPL7. So this is one of the older versions of the Olympus pen, but again, this is like the go-to blogger camera because it is so easy to use, easy to operate, and to be honest, all of these cameras are really easy to operate. Like, believe me, I do not fiddle around with exposures, apertures, anything like that. I don't even know what half that shit is. So I just like turn the camera on and film, and that's exactly what I do with these. I'm not that techie in the way I know like how to adjust things or like know the kind of like exposure and stuff like that. That's not my game. I just want quick and easy stuff. So the Olympus pen is fantastic for that because you just shoot. You just basically shoot. You just tap and shoot. That's it. It does all the rest for you. You can obviously edit and adjust things. There's some really good settings on there, but it's flawless without you even having to make much effort. Really, it is. And most of my Instagram photos and my blogging photos, I don't need to edit that much. Maybe the lighting a bit, maybe to just make it a bit brighter, but really there's not much work that needs to be done. So this is why I love this camera so much. It's so good. So when you buy it, you get the standard pancake lens. Now this is quite good for video, but personally, I just don't like how the video comes out on the Olympus pen. It doesn't vibe with me very well. It's quite blurry. The Canon is so much better. So personally, I don't vibe this as a vlogging camera whatsoever, but the Canon 100%. This is just my photography camera more than anything. So the pancake lens is good. It's just, I find it's very blurry. Like, it's still just quite blurry on some stuff. Like, you don't get the blurry backgrounds. It's a very flat shot, and I feel if you're to zoom it, it loses a lot of its quality. So I actually very, very rarely use that now. If I want a further, like in the distance shot, I'll use my iPhone, or if this is too close, because this is quite a big lens and you need to like move yourself. So the only downside with the Olympus pen is you can't zoom in and out. You have to physically move yourself to where you want to be. So that can be quite challenging sometimes, but you get around it, you work around it. So the lens I have on is the 45mm lens. Now this is the blurry background lens. So this is what gives all my like Instagram and professional photos and blogging photos that gorgeous like blurry background you see. It's just slightly off focus and it looks oh so bloggery dreamy. Very recommend these. I think the body and the pancake lens was about 300. I mean, I got this 2 years ago now, so I think it was about 300, and the lens was, oh, I've got no idea how much the lens was, to be honest. I think it was probably about 100. It was quite an investment, but so worth it. Like, all of this is so worth the investment, 100%. So yeah, that's basically my kind of blogging, vlogging and sit down video setup. And I know some of you are going to say, well, what do you edit on? So edit wise, for videos I use iMovie, as simple as that. I'm very loyal to Apple, and it's, you know, I have it on my Mac and I have it on my MacBook Air, so it's very portable. I can, you know, do videos from anywhere in the world, which is really good. It's free to use, it's easy to use, and it's fucking simple. What more could you want? And then for photos, I simply either use Instagram to edit my photos, as simple as that. I don't airbrush, I don't need to do any of that. Like, I'm all about keeping it real and authentic. I don't smooth my skin, I don't do any of that shit. Like, you see me how I come out, and that's what I've always been like really clear about, is that, you know, I don't want to put an Instagram filter and stuff. Like, this is how my life actually is. So yeah, I don't bother with any of that shit. I just import the image to Instagram and then either edit it, like just lighten it, give it a bit of saturation, give it a bit more deeper color, make the colors pop a bit more. Yeah, that's what I really tend to use. To be honest, so many bloggers have started using like VCSO, Snapseed, I think it's called, like all these apps, and I've downloaded them and tried to use them, and I think maybe I'm just a bit dumb on this behalf, but they just don't look any different than normal Instagram edits. So I just kind of given up, and I'm like, well, what I do clearly works, so I'm just gonna stick to what I know. So yeah, I normally just edit on Instagram. For all my Instagram photos, obviously I just use Instagram edits. I don't use any other software, any other apps. I just pop it straight in Instagram, lighten it, brighten it, give it some color, and post it. So for my blogging photos and like my thumbnails and everything you see kind of picture wise on YouTube and my blog, I use Photos, which is an Apple free application which comes on your computers. I don't know whether it comes on your phone. I don't think it does, although you do have photo editing software on your iPhone as well, so sometimes I do use that as an extra, but very rarely, to be honest. So yeah, I just use photos on my computer and my laptop to edit my blogging photos, to edit my thumbnails for this. And again, it's just so easy to use. I lighten, brighten it, add a bit of saturation, add a bit of colour. That's it, that's all. And this is what I love about all of my equipment, how it just naturally picks up all the amazing qualities. Like, I don't have to sit there for hours editing stuff. You know, even the videos, I don't have to sit there editing for hours. It's just seamless and smooth. And the photography as well is just, it's already bright, it's already vivid, it already looks fucking amazing. So you just need to lighten it a bit and add a bit of colour. So that's what I love, the easiness of this, the simplicity of this, and how even as an absolute newbie as I was not trained in photography. I've always had a passion for it, but I was not trained in anything. Like, I've completely taught myself to do everything in my businesses. So yeah, just a heads up that it's easy to get used to this. It's, you know, you learn, you adapt as you go along, and these cameras are so easy to use and I think really affordable, especially the Canon and the Olympus. The sit down video maybe not so much, but you know, you can use the Canon for sit down videos as well. Like, that's not to say you can't. So yeah, I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything I use. Obviously, like I said, my iPhone is the only other camera I use, my 8 Plus, love that, so in love with that, and some of the pictures look freaking fantastic for an iPhone, so I can't wait for the 9, the 10, it's just gonna keep getting better. So I hope this video has helped you guys. I will obviously try and link everything I can down below to help you out and direct you to all the correct information. So good luck with your blogging, good luck with your YouTube, whatever you're doing. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments down below because I reply to them all, and I really hope this video has helped you. So thank you so much guys for watching my video. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below because I replied to them all, and I will see you in my next video, which will be next week. Lots of love guys.